What's going on, everybody? Got some stuff to share with you guys. So, one of the main videos I'm going to share right now was actually a request from a young lady. Shout out to her. So, I'm going to review that clip, but I got some other kind of short clips I want to share in conjunction with that. And of course, I want you guys engaged. So, I want your guys' opinion on the whole ordeal or the whole matter for that matter. So, I will drop the link in a little bit and let you guys jump up and chime in if you guys so choose to. Kind of spur of the moment, just wanted to hop up here and provide you guys with some content, but I do have some other stuff planned out for you guys. So as always, stay tuned. Let me share my screen, get this popping. All right. So someone shared this with me, talk about this clip. It says biracial kids with white moms speak up. All right, let's hear what they have to say. The biracial kids with their white moms. They're actually adults in this video. The testimonies are all from adults, but she's calling them kids. Mother Goddess Queen of the Earth is referring to these adults as kids in this video, which I find to be very funny and typical, right? Biracial kids with white moms. We're like, wait, these people, this is not a kid. Okay, let's just get right into it, right? Fair use.
I don't know what mixed baby needs to hear this, but it's okay if you drop your white mom. It is. There are so many white mothers who sit here and they have mixed babies and then they literally destroy it.
In the disclaimer, right, because the title of this stream, I named it Biracials with White Moms Are Not All the Same. Because what we're going to see in this clip, and of course, you already saw the image of the lady who's referring to these adults as kids, black lady, and she compiled a bunch of clips to fit her biases, okay, right? Her biases. She compiled a bunch of clips, which what they always do, the Afrocentrics or pro-blacks, whenever they see a video of a biracial who's throwing their white parent under the bus, typically if it's their white mom, they'll share those videos. Those videos typically go viral because the pro-blacks, they have more numbers than you. They're sharing them all, right? To fit their bias, right? Because in their community, it's a matriarchy. So, right, when they see you having a white mom trying to interlope in their community, you're going to get a lot of pushback, as you can see with Drake, right? They'll let you hang out and sit around if you're like a J. Cole, if you're stoic, right? And you never dare to be great, right? But when you dare to be great, eventually a lot of you people, you're going to find out, especially in this generation now. Drake's a millennial. I'm a millennial. So the millennials and younger, they're going to find out. The older ones, older mulattoes, they just kind of found their place, found a seat at the table per se. But the funny thing is those are the same ones who got to clean the table afterwards, right? They're able to sit at the table, okay, with the communita. But once the communita is done taking a shit on the table, leaving all their trash wrappers or like their litter and garbage all over the table, not even pushing the chairs in, like a decent person, they just leave all the trash around, all the crap everywhere, and then they still expect you to clean up the table, to be the janitor, right? That's kind of the fixed in mulatto in the prior generations is what I'm seeing. So, but the younger ones, they're going to realize what we're seeing here with these clips. These are the virtue signalers. They got white moms. They're going to jump on social media and be like, oh, my white mama was a racist. And, and when you look at these videos, who's liking the videos, all the comments in their videos, it's like it's one demographic. So, it's amazing. It's amazing. How many people call this out? Not that many. Literally none. I'm the only guy. I'm the bad guy out here because I'm going to call a spade, right? And am I biased? For sure. For sure, you're damn right. But just like all these other motherfuckers you see on social media, they have their biases and they want to spin things and fit a narrative, right? So just take that and deal with it. Let's continue on. Fair use.
My mom, ever since I was little, has been calling black women disgusting and loud and dirty and arrogant and ghetto. And for some reason, she fails to realize that I am.
The funny thing is there's a lot of black people that will say those same exact things, even black men, right? So it's not only your white mom, ma'am, right? And the funny thing is like this is virtue signaling. Like they're saying this to kind of pull on the heartstrings of black women, which are like the largest sample of social media users on all the platforms, TikTok, YouTube, you know, uh, Fedbook, Instagram, all the platforms are heavily saturated with black women, okay, and black men for sure, but just per capita, whatever demographic, the females usually are scrolling through social media more so than men. And yeah, so she's virtually signaling for that demographic, right? She'll get some more followers and likes, and yeah, okay, let's see how she can grift it. Also, you can see kind of the nose rings, right? The nasal piercings, etc. Told you guys that's for me, it's a red flag. And there's people who even are like followers of mine, if we could say subscribers or supporters, whatnot. There's some of these women who they do have the nasal ring or whatever, and I know I'm probably going to offend them by saying that, but me, when I'm looking at that, it's kind of a giveaway. I'm going to smell some feminism, going to smell some intersectionality. So as a straight guy like myself, I'm looking at that and like, yeah. All right, let's continue on. Fair use.
The same woman that she is talking about, she fails to realize that there's no difference between us. The only difference is the slightly lighter complexion. That's it. Y'all sit here as white women and you have black and brown and Asian children, and then you...
White women can't have black children. She says they have black, brown, and Asian children. They have mixed children, yes. They don't have black children, okay? Black women give birth to black children. If their partner's black, of course. Now, that individual might identify as black, which is very common, which is going to change over the years for sure. I mean, especially platforms like mine, other platforms popping up. Once these people realize they have another option, I mean, it's just game over, basically. And that's why a lot of people are upset with guys like me. Specifically, if you're a male, you're masculine, they see leadership kind of tendencies, and they're fearful of that. They're like, look, this guy's going to motivate people, okay, to have a paradigm shift, to realize, give them some motivation, encouragement, and confidence to realize they have another option. They don't have to be the subordinate little mule caping to try to fit in. How are you, to fit in with people who are always going to eventually kick you out once they're jealous of you or get upset? Why don't you just do your own thing? And it's so easy now in today's world with the social media and the internet to network, to the networking capabilities you have are endless. You just got to put in the work. We find a lot of mulattoes are lazy. They want to make excuses. Okay, fair use.
Literally talk about us like we can't hear you. You talk about how we're disgusting and how we leech off the government and how we're not even from America and how we don't even need to have protests for things because everyone's created equal in the first place. But then you date white supremacists and bring them into our own fucking houses. And you expect us to be comfortable. I don't get how y'all can pretend that your kids don't hear you.
Maybe it's just her and she has mommy issues, which is typical. Sadly, she's not the only one. There's a lot of mulattoes I know I've talked to, those who are closer to me, that they got mommy issues. Okay, they have issues with their mom. They don't talk to their mom. And some of these people, like for this instance, this lady here, she's in her car, jumping on TikTok, whatever, and basically throwing her mom under the bus, but she's going to generalize white moms in such a negative light. This has heavy implications because they're trying to pass this off like this is like they're trying to make it seem like it's a bigger issue than it really is, right? And of course, the pro-blacks, Afrocentrics, they're going to take this, clip it, post it to their channel as the woman who uploaded the video, not the biracial, but the Bantu, this person here, right? They're going to take this clip because it fits in with their biases against you, with their narrative. So that's why we have to analyze this stuff. We have biracial voices now. I'm one of many others. There's going to be more. So now we have to analyze this information and we have to give our counter arguments and debunk some of these myths that they spew. Because it's okay, she'll generalize white moms and everyone will just think, oh, that's no big deal. But like she's caping for the community and virtue signaling. But it's like if it was the other way around, right? If she generalized another group of people, the proud victims, right? Then oh, that's bad. You're embracing white supremacy and all this other bullshit, right? Just pointing it out there, guys. Let me know what you think.
And then be absolutely baffled when they finally do. And they finally don't want to be around you.
Hey, black moms, I got you for a minute. Sit this one out. Hey, yo.
She say, hey, black moms, I got you for a minute. Sit this one out. Just right off the bat, ghetto as fuck. Very unappealing and just ratchet and nasty. Okay. I believe I see a tattoo on her chest as well.
White mom.
And that's very giving. That's, yeah. The tattoo on the chest, yeah. It's screaming trash. Trashy. And what usually comes after that is baby mamas, right? Bastard kids by some Pookie. That's usually what comes after that. Or that could be Pookie's name right there. Or Ray Ray's. I don't know. You take your pick. But let's read this. It says WOC. Women of color, I think it is, having mixed babies isn't the problem. White women, you are. You want to bet she's got a white mom, right? Maybe, a lot of these women you see on the social media, they got mommy issues, man. And they're trying to generalize white women and white moms and capitalize as white women. You are. You the problem, right? You refuse to even see our struggle or protect us, our struggle. So you see how she's trying to like generalize or group up our struggle. What struggle the hell is she talking about? Your struggle's not the same as the white ladies, okay? Unless it's your mom, then it's your family. That's a whole different scenario, right? Let's see. It says separating us from a part of who we are. Yeah, going through this split personality bullshit. This is why, and a lot of these people, see, they're against the whole mulatto, embracing mulatto, because mulatto is the fusion, right? And they don't want to distance themselves or separate themselves from blackness. These type of individuals, this chest tattoo lady, okay, their goal is to virtue signal and throw white people under the bus to get acceptance from black people, mainly black women. We see the strategy. This is nothing sophisticated with what they're doing. Instead of embracing the fact that they are biracial, they could embrace mulatto-ness, which is the wholeness, the one, be an entirely independent entity from white and black, and then just build upon that and embrace it. Instead of doing that, their easy way out is to throw white people under the bus, and they got a white mom, throw them under the bus and just kiss black butt and virtue signal. And it's like, look, a lot of that shit's getting played out. A lot of these people are looking dumb out here. Not too many people are calling them out. Once more of us start to laugh at them, they're going to know we're watching, we're laughing at them basically, and they're going to feel some type of way. They're going to feel stupid about what they're doing, or what they'll do is they'll basically kind of engage with us and kind of counter, what we're doing, which is good too. They're only going to promote us anyways. People will pick and choose. Okay, who's the intellect? Who's the one with the will, determination to survive? Who's the one who's really has a plan, agenda, has foresight for something productive that's sustainable? Or who's promoting the baby mama, broken families, continuous, pro-whack BS that hasn't got anywhere the past, 60 years, but they keep pushing this crap. Let's continue on, fair use.
Stop having biracial kids. You was funny as fuck to run your mouth all over this app talking about that.
Run your mouth all over this app, right? We know who's talking like that. All over this app. You heard, you dig, you feel me? And yeah, the hand gestures are a dead giveaway, right?
Knee slapper. Can we talk about how my granddaddy disowned my mom after she had the first of us?
And that's your personal story. You could put that in a book. There's pleasant ways you can talk about these kind of, unfortunate situations or unfortunate circumstances that you encountered with your family, your grandfather disowning you and all this type of stuff. But the way they're doing it on TikTok, it's massive virtue signaling. I even see it where there's a guy who's building his platform, a Hispanic guy, I think he's a Chicano or Mexican guy, who's building his platform caping for blacks. Like, you know, he's gonna virtue signal black people to like get a huge following, and he's gonna throw Dominicans under the bus, because I know I have a lot of Dominican supporters, and they point out this guy where there's people out here on TikTok, man, who are growing their platforms, virtue signaling for the woke leftists, pro-blacks, and they're all anti-white. It's a power struggle, but they can't compete with white society as far as developing technology, as far as organization, as far as developing, with industry. They can't compete with the innovation with a lot of white people. So what they're going to do is try to shame them. Shame them. You're racist. You embrace white supremacy and all this other stuff. They're basically screaming and crying because they can't compete. This is what it sounds like. And they jump on, TikTok is their favorite app to do this crap. Let's continue on with this. Fair use.
Can we talk about how my own mother called me racist towards white people?
And yeah, a lot of these biracials are, there was a point in my life where I definitely held those sentiments. Now I'm basically like, look, if I'm a racist, okay, well, because I point out the racist, that makes me a racist. Racist competition, and I'm going to compete. I'm not going to cower down and be punked out here. And if people give me a certain type of energy, or like they disrespect me because I'm mulatto, I don't care what race they are. I'm going to disrespect them based off their background. That's the way I function and operate. I know it's unethical. People are going to say it's a mulatto history channel. You're biased. And, I told a guy too, as a disclaimer, look, the main function of this channel, I do want to prioritize historic content that's focused on history. But I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of the social commentary tends to do better with the numbers. Has a lot farther reach. People actually want to hear my opinion on these matters. A woman emailed me, told me she wanted me to talk about this video on a live stream. And some of the other like material that I share that's not specifically history related per se, meaning non-biased, it's like it does pretty well. I look at the numbers. I'm looking at the numbers and I'm like, well, people like to engage in this type of content. So I want to serve people and continue with this conversation. Yeah. So I said a lot there. Let me continue on before I lose my train of thought. Kind of late. Fair use.
Because of Breonna Taylor? At least the black mother would have.
Okay, what I wanted to say about that was her white mom called her racist. And like I said, it's very true, because a lot of these biracials are anti-white and they're racist. And they do that because they're overcompensating to try to fit in with black people. And there's white people I see all over social media now. I'm actually gathering the notes, the data, where they're basically saying, oh yeah, it's the mulattoes and the biracials who are the most racist, because they see the game too. They know these blacks don't accept you mulattoes. Most of you damn mulattoes haven't figured it out yet. That unless they can use your ass, right? If they can use you, to use you as a bridge to connect with to whiteness, because they historically they want to use mulattoes to get closer to whites, right? So if they can't use you in that fashion, then they look at you, well, there's no use for you. So then they want to like basically, throw you under the bus and trample over you. So a lot of these mulattoes, in order to get that acceptance from blacks, they basically have to throw white people under the bus. And it never ends. They have to continuously do it. You have some of these old guys, they're old as hell in the Afrocentric kind of consciousness circles. And they're still doing this shit when they're like in their 60s and stuff. It's like, bro, like the times have changed, man. This isn't the civil rights era. A lot of these guys, you see them, Tariq Nasheed promotes them. All the pro-blacks promote them. All these old mulattoes like Dr. Claude Anderson, all these people, like some of these people, they haven't gave up yet. And because their whole identity is centered around serving black people, right? And yeah, so a lot of these biracials are in fact racist and anti-white, and you can see it all over, TikTok, these other platforms, right? That doesn't get called out as much, I feel like, It doesn't get called out as much. I do see white people putting these comments, but they're not making, live streams about it. That not that I know of, that I see. And it's, yeah, and she's trying to act stupid. Like, bro, everyone can see it. Like, you people want to fit in with black people so damn much, you got to throw your own white parent under the bus, particularly if it's your white mom. It's super cringe. We're not all the same. That's the message here on this live stream. Let's continue on.
Would have known how to do my hair properly and given a shit. I am definitely not the prize to the skin fetish you had with my father. At least a black mother would not have invalidated any experiences I had.
You see what she's saying? Well, at least a black mother, I could have connected. She's got mommy issues, guys, right? Come on. Like, I'm happy. I'm blessed with who I am. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change my mom, the mom I have. I wouldn't change the father that I have. I wouldn't change anything. Everything to me is meant to be. It's up to me now. I'm an adult, just like this character who's on the screen. She clearly looks like an adult, with the little chest tattoo, and the baby daddy comes right after that, right? You're an adult now. Make your adult decisions, okay? Take some accountability. And she's up here trying to get clout, throwing her own damn parents under the bus, making biracials look really fucking stupid, So it's kind of irritating, right? We can see this virtue signaling crap. And this, let me read the text here. I guarantee they would have come to war for me over that. I guarantee that wouldn't have let me learn what race was on my own. I missed out on, quote unquote, the black talk and had to unlearn a lot of bull. She wishes she had a black mom instead of a white mom. And of course, the black woman who uploaded this clip, she was like, oh, yes, let me share this. Yes. Fucking hilarious.
In school with being bullied for my skin color or for looking the way I look. I feel like my black mama would have come up and beat a fourth grader's when they called me the N-word.
You guys hear that type of savagery? She's talking about she feels like her black mama, if she had a black mom, her black mom would have beat up a fourth grader for calling her the N-word. You guys hear that? The promotion of savagery? She's talking about, if my mama was black, she would have been rough and tough to put her hands on a child. They don't even listen to themselves when they talk. This is the type of depravity and savagery, the chest tattoos, the ratchetness they promote. Violence right away. That's how they're going to deal with their issues. When someone says a mean word, you called me a mean word, they go right to savagery. That's like the primitive inclination that they oftentimes promote as if it's normal on TikTok. We're seeing this here. Does that equate to you guys? Like, do you guys feel the same way that I do? Kind of utterly disgusted with like this person on the screen who's like, oh, my white mom didn't teach me about race or the black talk. But if I had a black mom, she would have acted all rough and tough and would have beat up that fourth grader. We're like, what? This is not a good look, sis. It's not a good look. Let me continue on. Well, this ain't my sis. Okay. But
stop worrying about black moms. They are not failing with the biracial kids as much as you are. Okay.
So I grew up with a white mom.
And these are all white mom biracials and they're all going to be women, which I think is interesting too. Yeah, the whole sample here, it's all women, biracial women. But is a biracial woman who shared this video with me, said, hey, can you talk about this? She sent it to me actually a few weeks ago, but I'm getting to it now. Shout out to her. She'll watch the playback. But yeah, all these women have white moms and they're all on TikTok virtue signaling to the community to get supporters and like weak ass sympathy. You think these people like sympathize with you? It's sad because internally they're laughing at you. They're like, ha, I got another sucker, another mule I can use, begging for my acceptance, begging to be a part of blackness. And we're looking at the lady on the screen right now. She doesn't even look black at all. What the fuck? People are telling me I look black, but everyone knows they say that shit to gaslight you. It's like a humbling tactic. When you're around the darkies, they'll say, well, you're not black like me. You don't know what it is to be a real black from the hood. And you're like, you're damn right. I'm not like you. I'm different. See you later. And then they'll try to run over and try to, hey, come back. Man, you just a light skinned black. You just a black like us. You look, I'm like, see, that's the game they play with you people, right? I laugh. I've seen all the Blackistan gaslighting tactics. Okay, I've seen them all. I'm gonna start documenting them and putting more videos out on that because you guys still try to entertain me with the foolishness. You just look like a light-skinned black guy. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Who did not care. Like, she'll let me run around like looking musty, dirty, did not help me with my hair, did not do none of that, did not discipline me, nothing like that. She let my white side of the family put relaxers in my hair, straighten my hair whenever they wanted to make it look better. Told me that I could not go to the high school.
One thing you have to realize with an individual like this, she knows damn well she's not black. Looking at her, she got the good hair, she got the good skin, light skin, right? She knows damn well she's not black. What are they like? There's another fat torta, a deranged protege. Okay, some ghetto hood rat, grew up in a trailer park, and she's the same way. Like, you look at her, she doesn't even look biracial. Not talk about this person, another knucklehead called multifacial hood rat, doesn't even look biracial. Literally looks like a blown up fat Mexican woman, what we also call a torta. And so they know they don't even look black at all, right? So they have to act all super extra ghetto and extra ratchet to try to fit into that group. This is what you're seeing with this individual here. She knows damn well she looks in the mirror, she doesn't look black at all. You look at Lupita is black. Look at her, she's not black. So they have to act all extra ghetto with the ghetto hood cadence and all that, the ghetto accent and all that crap, hand gestures and snapping fingers, rolling their neck and all that shit. This is what they have to do.
That I worked so hard to get into because the black girls there would be jealous of me and want to fight me all the time. She'll say things like, oh, it's so ghetto there now because of those people. Oh, those black people make that restaurant so ghetto. Da, da, da. Like, seriously? She also makes very passive aggressive, like racist stereotype comments about black people. And honestly, it just like, it hurts my heart because it's like, how could you have raised 8 black children and then have a biracial?
Yeah, you're not black. Okay. Yeah, you're biracial. To have a biracial child that believes these racist stereotypes, yeah.
Racial child, and you proceed to still have these notions on black people, and you proceed to talk like this and act like this. It's crazy to me. And 9 times out of 10, it's always those white moms who are like, oh, I'm not racist. It's not me. I'm not one of those white people. I have black children.
Okay, well, she's an adult. Her mom probably did the best she can. I'm not trying to invalidate her experience, like I'm saying, but the way that they go about it by jumping on TikTok, which is a woke, leftist, virtue signaling platform. You jump on that platform to get brownie points from the community, and it's cringe as fuck. I mean, that's why I'm basically highlighting this and observing this, because I'm sitting there like, there's nothing special here. It's so obvious what a lot of these characters are doing. I get it. You got mommy issues. You had bad experiences with your mom growing up. She probably did the best she could. Where the hell is the father at? I mean, none of these women are talking about their black daddy. Yeah, because their black daddy wasn't around, which is very common. So therefore, they're going to direct all their animosity towards the only parent who was there to help your ass out. You're an adult. They did something right. And then they're going to throw shade at their parent. You guys are adults, man. Figure it out. You can blame your parents when you're a kid. Once you become an adult, figure it out. Navigate society and find people you can build with. But this tragic bullshit, it's not helping us out. It makes us look dumb. And like I said, these black people, the woman who uploaded the video, they take this clip and they share it and they get a ton of views off of it. It's she's got 71,000 subscribers, 70,000 views a year ago. They get all these views talking about biracials, and it's like, now you have a biracial voice up here talking my shit, and it's like they're gonna try to shadow ban me. Fuck out of here, because I'm not pleasant about it. My delivery, I'm not pleasant at all. Okay, I'm a little pleasant. I can be, but in this instance right now, nah, not really. Fair use.
That are the racist ones.
Us biracial kids with the white moms are the most problematic.
No,
but you see that right away. I gotta pause on this one.
Us
mixed people with white moms. Another TikToker with the bull ring. With the bull. I mean, come on, guys. This is intersectionality. This is feminism. This is LGBTism. This is pro-black woman. And because, white women are the standard of beauty, the European standard of beauty, so they're going to compete with that. This is a way they're trying to humble people, but they're not really humbling anyone. They're just kind of irritating people, to be honest with you. Biracial kids with white moms are the problem, and she's one of them. This is disgusting. You got mommy issues, sis. Okay, figure it out. But don't try to jump on social media making us all look stupid. Look, like I said, for me, I'm one like solo dolo dude out here in my own little space on the internet. Like, I don't represent majority of the mulattoes. What I do represent is the mulattoes who have some balls and who want their own shit. They want to be recognized as a distinct group. They want autonomy and sovereignty, and they want to exist and thrive into the future. That's what I represent. Pretty clear. Okay. So I never claimed that I speak for all or represent all. Look, a lot of these people, I just tell them, get out of here and go over there with the other ghetto knuckleheads trying to grift off people. So, yeah, but this lady's cringe, right? Look at her. And then the Stitch incoming, another tick thought. And then she's gonna the same crap, virtue signaling. Let's listen to this.
Biracial kids with the white moms are the most problematic.
No, but can we talk about how us biracial folks, that's me, with white moms, can be the most problematic, because a lot of times our white mothers will expect us to take on identities that reflect their own, because the sacrifice of motherhood is so severe that they kind of want their biracial Black presenting children to reflect their white experience. And I think a lot of folks like me, frankly, are just unwilling to challenge their mothers and say, like,
that's a personal issue. She said folks like her, quite frankly, are unwilling to challenge their mothers. Right? That's a personal issue. And even for me, I can say personally, I did have that conversation with my mom years back, where I had to look to her. I think I was already an adult at this point, and I realized, look, me and you don't have the same experiences out here. Yeah, if I'm with her in public, it's doors open up for us and stuff like that. But if I go to those same establishments and my mom's not around, I get a little different treatment. People are a little bit more fearful and stuff like that, right? And so also because I'm a guy, and if I'm going solo as a dude somewhere, there's that as well. And so I've had those conversations with my mom where it's like, look, we don't have the same experiences. We're not looked at the same. And so I feel like that's a personal kind of conversation. But I mean, a lot of these people are using this social media as therapy. So she's going to get out here and kind of give us her expertise. Let's listen to what she has to say.
I love you, but you are wrong. I love you, but my experience is different. And I love you, but I refuse to carry beliefs that are going to be violent towards other members of the Black community, because I love.
She said beliefs are going to be violent towards. That's a trigger word, right? And then I guarantee you, she's not going to specify what beliefs her mother had that were quote unquote violent towards the Black community. Now, of course, she's going to cape for the Black community. And of course, you looking at her, I can already tell her pathway to Blackness, if she wants full membership access and acceptance into Blackness, is she has to have dark-skinned Black men's bastard kids. This is the pathway for the mixed woman, the multiracial woman, to get membership access and acceptance into Blackistan. They have to have the dark-skinned Black man's bastard kids. Okay, you can clip that and share that. This is what we all see. Not many will publicly say that. So that's her pathway. Let's continue on.
My Blackness too much to hold those beliefs, right? And that will cause.
But like I said, she's using her presentation's pretty smooth, very kind of nonchalant, but she threw in a buzzword there, violent, and that's to elicit emotion. Like I say, quote unquote violent. She said her white mom's beliefs are violent and could harm the Black community. So right away, she doesn't care about the biracial community. She cares more about the Black community. If she wants to fit into that community, she can't bring a white guy there. She can't bring a Hispanic guy there. Probably could get away with bringing a biracial guy there for sure. But most of what they do is they bring in the darkest, blackest guy to fit into that group, right? But I wanted to stop. I paused to highlight the fact she said violent. You got to be careful, because a lot of these people, that's what they do. They throw in these kind of buzzwords to elicit emotion, but they don't provide any context behind that. Well, what the hell did your mom say that was so bad and negative? What were her beliefs that were so detrimental? I guarantee you we're not going to hear an example, but let's continue on.
Cause like a rift with some family members and has for me, but I would never take it back because I don't want to be one of those people who holds us back.
So I also have a white mom, and whether or not
That was it. And of course, no examples, which is very typical. Let's continue on. Yeah.
you other half breeds want to digest it and understand it and take accountability for it is the fact that having a white
She's calling already right there. You can see the self-hate as a biracial person. Now, let me play this.
breeds want to digest it and understand.
Don't want to be one of those people who holds us back.
So I also have a white mom, and whether or not you other half breeds want.
Listen to that. She said, she's like, I also have a white mom, but whatever you other half breeds have to say, that right there is very disgusting. And you know, half breed is a slur that mainly the blacks will use against mulattoes, right? Or biracials. So, and she's addressing herself or other people as half breeds. That's a clue right there that her herself, she harbors anti-mixedness, is what a lot of other people say. What the proud biracials have noted: anti-mixedness, anti-biracialness, anti-mulattoness per se. I mean, this is very common, sadly, when I look at these social media kind of samples of these mulattoes and biracials, where they hate themselves and other biracials so much, they just want to fit in with blacks. And so they got to throw all the other biracials under the bus, you know? They throw their white mom under the bus, which is the biggest, you know, that's the most treasonous thing you can do. And it's like, you come to find out a lot of these people are spoiled, grew up in a good environment, good community, okay? And what was the worst thing that their white parent did? Maybe called them a bad word or something, or slightly neglected them, you know, didn't give them dessert on one dinner meal, you know, something so like minimal. They have to find some reason to hate, so they blow it out of proportion and make it seem like their white mom was so bad, right? She looks like a college student. And again, like I said, who paid for her college? Probably her white mom. She's going to throw her white mom under the bus. We see that with Colin Kaepernick. Adopted white parents helped his ass get to the NFL and Super Bowl. He throws his white parents under the bus, right? That's what a lot of these people do. And a lot of them, they harbor anti-mixedness, which is very despicable and treasonous. And look at her nose. She has that bull ring there. Dead giveaway. Okay, I know a lot of ladies who have that bull ring. They listen to me. I don't know. They're going to not like me saying that, but whatever. I'm seeing a trend with that. Okay, where, you know, yeah, fair use.
To digest it and understand it and take accountability for it is the fact that having a white mom is different than having a black mom, socially and psychologically. When people say that mixed kids with black moms are different than mixed kids with white moms, they're talking about the fact that mixed kids with black moms typically tend to not grow up to be coons and colorists.
Now you hear the language she's saying. Raccoons, right? The slur that blacks call other blacks who are quote unquote sellouts or traitors, right? Now it's obvious she's black identified. She got a white mom. If she wants to fit in with the blacks, she's got to jump on social media and throw her white mom under the bus. But you know what? Ultimately, these blacks are still never going to trust you. How could they? You're going to throw your own flesh and blood under the bus. Instead of privately working out these issues like a normal civilized individual will do, you'll be like, okay, this is a family matter. This is family business. We have some conflict within our family. Let's solve this behind the scenes. Oh no, she doesn't want to do that. She wants to jump on TikTok and throw her own damn mom under the bus to get brownie points with black people. I guarantee you she's going to reflect on this 10 years from now and realize how foolish and stupid she is for doing this, putting all her business out there and having this type of very negative take and very pro-black, right? Very pro-black when you got a white mom, you know, you people are characters.
And where do coon and colorist ideologies derive from? These ideologies didn't just come.
And we already know it's going to basically be a divester type of situation, right? Where do these ideologies derive from? Right? She got a black dad, she got a white mom, and she's got a shit ton of self-hate where she's talking about other half breeds. Like, bitch, don't call me a half breed, okay? Okay. Like, yeah, because she talks like a black. I mean, that's what the blacks are gonna say to mulattoes, right? When they get jealous of you, like a Drake or someone like that, right?
From nowhere, who's teaching these kids these things? I'm so tired of saying it, but there are more racist white moms.
And like to me, it looks like she's in a college dorm. That's why I say college. She looks like she's in like a nice area. I can hear the birds chirping. She's got like a strap here on her shoulder, probably a backpack. It looks like a college dorm, to be honest with you. Looking at the structure behind her, the brick masonry structure, that's the first thing that pops in my head. So it's like, and that's, the colleges, universities are like major havens for this TikTok pro-whack leftist liberal bullshit, pro LGBT, pro fucking nasal or bull ring, uh piercings and all that crap, rainbow colored hair, okay, and you know, but this privilege, like broke people don't really go to universities. Universities have always been kind of a affluent institutions for elites. I mean, historically, now they're kind of giving it away. They're letting everybody else. But even if you're there, like the broke people just go to their job and work and have a bunch of kids and just get stuck trying to support their family and all that stuff. Yeah, the universities are still where wealthy folks are still kind of have their social networking and clubs with all the fraternities and all that. Let me continue on, fair use.
And y'all want to believe.
So you guys have heard it. I definitely feel like when it comes to a mom, because of the
she got an accent, right? Yeah, it was that West African. What's her name? Doombi Leah, whatever.
Responsibilities of motherhood, children usually lean more to their mom's side. They spend more time with their mom and stuff like that. So the mom generally has a greater impact on the kids than the dad, in my opinion.
True. The mom has a greater impact than the dad, than the father. The nurturing aspect from the mother. But ultimately, the environment dictates a lot, depending on the environment. And so there's a lot of factors. It's not so subtle. And let's continue on. Someone's mad because I keep pausing. Well, yeah, I don't want to get copyright strike playing someone else's stuff. Yeah, whoever you are.
Opinion, especially in a situation where the father is not even around as much. So the mothers tend to always have a stronger influence on their kids. So now, one thing that I got to realize is that some of these white women go ahead and lay with colored men and have these kids. Some do it out of love, but a lot of them don't really do it because they love these people. A lot of people just want to be able to be like, oh, I am not in quote the R word because I have black kids.
Yeah, she said R words. Like they're gonna say like, "Oh, I'm not racist. I have a mixed kid or something like that." That's kind of what it is. Oh, or they fetishize the black partner or stuff like that. That's that's true. That's true. I'm not saying it's not true that there's white women or other groups that do that. I know Hispanic women do the same thing. They get a black guy, and a lot of these women, they end up being single moms, and we're sitting there like, well, this is not sustainable for society. We cannot continue to have this, continue to go on like that with this pro single mom and like, where the hell's the father at? And now you have these biracial women here in this video who like they grew up primarily with their mom. They're not even talking about their dad. Where the hell's your dad at? So now they have all their animosity and anger towards their mom. It's like, well, this doesn't look normal. It doesn't look normal. Because you're an adult. Like I said, when you're a kid, you want to complain about your mom grounding you or your mom not letting you play video games or something. Okay, but you're an adult now. Grow up. Okay, put it behind you or journal, write in a book. That's what I've done. I'll publish something in the future that will go into more kind of details. But it's like this idea where you jump on social media and like, it's cringe to me, guys.
Culture. You're willing to.
What do you guys think? I want to do a poll. You guys think it's cringe or what? Right?
Assimilate as much as you can. And it's also important for you to learn, at least to the best of your ability, about this other person's culture, race, ethnicity, so that you can teach this to your children. Colored. Well, we still have a long way because maybe they are.
Yeah, she's just giving her commentary. I don't need to go into all that commentary, what she is saying. So, yeah, shout out to you guys. Let me Check this out. Watch this right here.
Someone's commented, there are two types of light skins in the world. Lenny Kravitz or Drake. You're a Lenny. This has changed my life.
Right? Now that again is virtue signaling for the black community.
My life has
right?
changed forever.
It's like, my life has changed forever. Oh my God, you know, the blacks pat me on the back and said I'm a good little light-skinned mule. You look at her, it's like, come on, bro, you're not black. And she's gonna basically sit there and say, oh yeah, there's two type of light skins. There's a Drake and there's a Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz, okay, I like Lenny Kravitz. I'm a fan of Lenny Kravitz, but let's be real. He's not considered the greatest guitarist out here. He's not considered the greatest rock musician. He has good songs. Like I said, I'm a fan. Lenny Kravitz was like one of the first CDs, the first albums, maybe the second or third album back in, you know, I'm a 90s baby, so CDs. The first, like one of his first CDs, maybe the third CD I ever bought was Lenny Kravitz. So I've been a fan of Lenny Kravitz ever since I was a kid. We're talking over 20 years ago. So I'm a fan of Lenny Kravitz. He has a lot of good songs, but let's be real. Let's keep it 100. When people think of rock stars and musicians, they don't think of Lenny Kravitz. Okay. When people think of hip hop and rap today, who do they think about? They think of Drake, who's been relevant, been on top for over 10 years. He's been on top for a long time. That's why people hate him, especially in the community, because he's a mulatto, biracial who dares to be great. And Lenny Kravitz is just like, he's just a guy there. Like I said, if you're the stoic mulatto who never tries to jump on top and say you're the best, right? If you kind of know your place per se in that specific community and kind of fit in there at the table. And you notice Lenny Kravitz, his supporters aren't even black. Blacks don't go to his concerts and buy his music like that. It's mostly white people and other groups that like Lenny Kravitz. Let's be real. So that's what I always find funny about Lenny Kravitz. Like, they want to use that mulatto to be a representative model to try to be like, oh, be like this biracial, who's black identified, but he's just stoic and just out of the limelight. He's just over there. We can pull him off the shelf and use him, right? But you have a guy like Drake who stands up, is like, I'm the best rapper. I changed the game. I'm the best. And they're like, no, we don't want that light skin to think he's too tough and uppity, because they know he's going to encourage these other light skins, right? And this is a game they play with you people. And she's sitting here like, oh, virtue signaling. Yeah, all the blacks said I'm just like Lenny. I'm like Lenny Kravitz, not like Drake. My life has changed forever. I'm a fixed-in mule in Blackistan. Yay.
I was live and then someone's commented, there are two types of light skins in the world. Lenny Kravitz or Drake. You're a Lenny.
Yeah, and it's Tick Thought, which is pro-whack, social justice warriors, right? Now, I'm going to get to your guys' comments. I'm going to drop the link too. I'll be here for a little bit, just chilling and vibing with you guys. I appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, just impromptu, just hopped up here, wanted to talk about this. And if you guys like this content, if you guys like what I'm doing, hit the like button, share the video, share it with a friend. Let's get this stuff, circulating through the algorithms and all that. So I appreciate you guys being here with me this evening. Now, this is a clip. I follow this lady on the one I'm going to share right now on TikTok. The most adorable biracial daughter I've ever seen. Okay, look at this.
Day in Italy as a mom whose husband plays professional basketball. It's been like 3 weeks or so since they've had a home game, so it's definitely been.
And I love how she does this in her TikTok. I forgot the name of her channel. I do follow her. But I love how she does this in this video. You can literally see her doing the hair of her daughter. Isn't that one of the main things that a lot of black people will complain about white women, and even these biracials who have self-hate, right? Like the ones I shared with you guys in a clip, who talked about, she's like, oh, my white mom never helped me do my hair. You're looking at her. She has the biracial had a nasty attitude with the chest tattoo. We're like, ugh, throwing her white mom on the bus. Look at this young girl here. Her mom's doing her hair on TikTok. Everybody, the whole world can see. So it debunks that myth that white women are bad and that they can't even do their biracial women's hair or biracial children's hair, when you can look at this video right now, she's doing her hair for all you guys, all you negative, proud victim types who are always complaining about your white massa. Look, they know how to do this textured hair, right?
A while. So I got Kaylin all ready to go. I did her hair and then I touched up my makeup and I let Kaylin do her makeup. I seriously can't believe that we have been over here in Italy for 7 months already, and in just a few months we'll be going home. Like, it's gone by really, really fast, but it also feels like that we have been over here forever. But we still have quite a few more home games, so I'm definitely excited about those. After Kaylin and I...
She's so cute. She's so cute. You're not going to find me saying that often, right? But it's like, when I have a family, I want to baby a kid who looks like that, right? I mean, that's something to be proud of. Just adorable.
and I were both ready to go. We headed to the game, did a little fit check in the elevator, and of course, Kaylin.
Also, I want to notice the doll she has. It looks like right here, you can see the doll. The complexion, the tone looks like it matches hers, right? The baby doll she has. So that representation at an early age is very important. You don't want to go overboard and get your baby a doll that's has the skin complexion of Lupita. People will tell you that's normal. You have a biracial girl who needs biracial representation, and you're gonna try to trick her and tell her that she's just like a monoracial black woman like Lupita, when we all know that's a damn lie. I'm sorry, Zendaya, you can continue to cape and virtue signal, but I'm telling you, a lot of these people out here, they're not going to buy into that. I'm just one dude. I know people don't like what I got to say, but I'm one dude, so deal with it.
Fit check in the elevator, and of course Kaylin had to bring her baby doll. So we got to the game, we found our seats, and Kaylin immediately started cheering and holding up this sign. Looking back at some of my first game day videos, Kaylin looks so small and she has grown up so much, even though we've only been here for like 7 months. I also just love how much fun she actually has going to these games. But something about this girl, she will always be dancing no matter where she is. And then we had to take a quick bathroom break, and she was sprinting back so she wouldn't miss any of the game. We ended up winning the game by a ton, which was much needed. Kumar played so well. He had 25 points. Ended up getting MVP of the game, and whenever they do that, they get this huge bottle of wine, as you can see right here. It's so funny. And they always come around and give the fans high fives. After that, I let Kaylin run around on the court, and she ended up finding Kumar, and that was basically the end of our game day. Here's another game.
Yes, I wanted to share that basically to kind of dispel the myths, right? You had all these, and these were adult women, those biracial, talking crap about their white mom and virtue signaling to black people. Like, that's very despicable and disrespectful and disgusting as well. And it's shameful. And it's like right off the bat, like, we can't trust you. I can't trust you. If you're going to publicly try to throw your own parents under the bus, it's one thing, to be honest. And there's ways to go about it. But like, it's very tasteless when I see this TikTok, using a TikTok platform is very cringe when they're trying to like gain traction and followers and being like, yeah, and they don't provide any examples. Like that one lady who's talking about, she's like, oh, a lot of white mom biracials are problematic because their white mom, they don't tell them that their world view or their experiences are going to be different than theirs. And like, she was using words like violent, and I'm looking at her like, and she didn't provide any examples of that. And a lot of these people kind of get away with saying this stuff without getting challenged. That's a major thing that's really got to be addressed, guys, because that rhetoric they push, this anti-white mom biracial rhetoric, and like I said, you got white mom biracials out here caping for the community, trying to throw all of us under the bus. We're like, hold a second, nope, we're gonna have to challenge you too now. Like I said, biracials with white moms are not all the same. No. I'll be one of the bad ones if that's what it is. I'll be one of the bad ones, but shit, I'm not going to be out here throwing my own family under the bus to get some brownie points with the community or any other community for that matter. There are a lot of great white fathers and white mothers of biracial children. I realize blacks are trying to tear down mixed people with a vengeance, and they weaponize our own parents against us. Something that's out of our control. You don't choose who your parent is. Okay, you don't choose to have a white mom or a black mom. That's just how you were birthed. You're here now, So it's time to find people who are similar and like-minded and try to solve these problems, right? But you're right. It's mainly I see that from that community where they weaponize this argument. They weaponize your own parents against you. And this is a divester crap who try to push this because they have a fantasy, about white men selecting them and saving them from themselves, basically diluting themselves. It's the same with the black men who feel like they're going to get a non-black woman and all their problems are going to go away. It's the same. It's them and their pathology. They want to dilute themselves and they want to pass on that pathology to their own children. It's like, yeah, it's not our fault that Africans sold their own people to Europeans and Arabs. That's the thing. But they will blame mulattoes like Tariq Nasheed, who's married to a mulatto, right? His wife, Tariq Nasheed, he made a whole Hidden Colors documentary talking in West Africa. He was talking about how the Lancondos, which are mulattoes in West Africa, who are working with the Portuguese to sell enslaved blacks, right? To slave traders. So this guy, this grifter, Tariq Nasheed, who's married to a mulatto, he's making money profiting off DVDs, spreading conspiracies about mulattoes. Nobody calls him out. No one says anything about it. They don't question this. Like, well, wait a second. How the hell are you so pro-black in FBA? You got a damn half white woman in your bed every night. You couldn't even find a FBA woman, right? This is the type of shit you see in their community. Everybody else, it's everyone else's fault, but there is no accountability. It was their own dark-skinned Bantus who've been going to war and tribal warfare for all these years, selling their own to be slaves like they're doing today. Okay. But it's the white man fault. It's the mulatto fault. Because the mulatto man, he got that light skin and, he talked like a white supremacist. It's the mulatto fault, man. It's not fair, man. It's only a problem when white women do it. No one says a thing about white men who create mulatto children. Yeah. The bull ring dead giveaway. Got the link dropped, guys. Only going to be here for so long. This is your opportunity. I think some of them are lying. Yeah, they're virtue signaling, right? Since African Americans deem biracials with black moms as best, they feel they have to say these things to be accepted in the community. They're crying for acceptance. And, secretly, underneath the comments, right? The people who are putting all those comments, secretly, they're thinking to themselves, haha, this sucker, this little half-breed sucker. They're trying to, fit in with us and be down with the hood. And they'll smile if they can use you, right? Once they have no use for you, they're going to kick you to the curb, right? And then what? Then what are they going to do? Where are they going to go? Who's going to want to deal with them? They've been talking all this shit about white people, white women, and all this other crap. And they've been throwing other biracials under the bus. So I'm like, look, you're probably going to have a space for that, for those type of biracials that are kind of in that recovery phase from their trauma. It's not what it is over here. For me, body mods were a sign that you were into the metal hardcore scene, or at least back when I was a teen. Now the SJWs ruined that image. Yeah. Her fake voice shaking is hilarious. Let's see. I've known white women with mixed kids, and they will fight for them like they would a white kid. She looks like she doesn't take care of her body, either undisciplined. Did anyone see that billionaires prefer black women? And the billionaire came out and said he never said that. His wife is mixed, not black. Yet black women had no issues claiming that mixed woman is black. It's the same thing with like Meghan Markle. There's a lot of black men who've made this argument, which I agree with them on this argument, where there's a lot of like, if it's a mixed woman like a Meghan Markle with a white guy, then black women will claim that as a win. They'll say, oh, she's a black woman. She got a black mom. So Meghan Markle's black, right? Same thing with Kamala Harris. Even though Kamala Harris has a Indian mom and a mulatto father, people will look at Kamala Harris and because she's married to a white man, right? Kamala Harris, the vice president. So a lot of black women will be like, oh, my vice president looks like me. That's a black queen, right? They'll claim her as being black. But when that same woman whether it's Meghan Markle or Kamala Harris, if they're with black women's preferences, which is the dark-skinned pookie thug, if those biracial or mixed multiracial women, if they're with black women's dark-skinned, chocolatey, gangster thug pookie preference, all of a sudden those same black queens of the community, they're going to be like, oh, that's one of the, that's a preference, a mediocre light skin. She's not even black, right? You see how they play that game, right? It's very obvious, guys. We all see this. This is not, TikTok attracts some serious repulsive people. It's like an insane asylum. Yeah. TikTok replaced Tumblr at this rate. Is that what Tumblr used to be? Never used Tumblr. Never really cared. To me, as far as I'm concerned, Pinterest is the same type of crap as Tumblr. So there's a specific type of ilk that kind of crawls around those spaces over there. Val, I don't understand why women have to dump all of their stuff on TikTok. As Drake would say, embarrassing. I have found people who are mixed to be the most understanding people, not the most racist. Celine, it's scary because they value the attention more than being humiliated, because any attention is good to them. Well, they're getting fake praise when you look at their comments and all these people who but then deep down, I know black people are super sneaky. You know that, Val. You know that more than me because your experiences. They're very sneaky people, especially how I'm not saying all, so I know people are going to take that and twist it, but I'm saying there's a lot of black people who are in America, black Americans who are extremely sneaky, just the way they're able to kind of play the Blackistan, Jedi mind tricks on these biracials, hoodwinking biracials, tricking them to think that you're a part of their group. If you act a certain way, you got to act this right. But the blackity blickety black doesn't have to act a certain way. He could do whatever the hell he wants. Yeah, because he's a black. So he's a part of their tribe, their group. It's only the biracial, they say. You got to act a certain way, right? And they're very sneaky because they're able to trick these biracials to think that you're a part of their group or that they have your best interest, right? That they have your back, so to speak. So they'll sit there and try to give you that fake kind of praise and shit in the comments. But secretly, as they're typing those comments, they're laughing at you. Haha, we got another one of these tragic mulattoes that humiliate themselves for our acceptance. It's pretty pathetic. They don't even see it. A lot of them don't. Dr. Claude Anderson, yeah, he's one of these old timers who spent his whole life caping for the community and hasn't really done anything. Is Angela Davis biracial? I don't know what the hell she is. I think she's clearly not. She's clearly mixed. She's not fully black. But I don't know exactly. I haven't looked into her that much. How would she know what would have been like? This is why we need these spaces, because we need our own testimonies, right? I feel like there's a way we can go about it without throwing our own parents under the bus, but having these spaces, we can definitely develop a community and give our own sharing stories, having our own testimonies, and then we can kind of compare notes. And then from that, we can make better decisions and find solutions. But I feel like those people who made those TikTok clips, they weren't speaking to a biracial or a mixed race audience. No, they were primarily speaking to a black audience, and they wanted a black audience, right? And that's what you see with them. A lot of these people, they want the black audience. So what they do is they have to throw biracials under the bus and say, I'm not like those biracials. That's the racist biracial, like the ghetto grandma. Oh, I'm not like them, right? She's trying to speak to her black audience to be like, oh, I'm the balanced biracial, that mulatto vanguard, he's the anti-black racist. See, they're speaking to their black audience. They're virtue signals, right? Her white mom probably gave up a lot of her social support having her like a lot of white women do. Yeah. And then no help from the father. It's funny how these biracials never, with their white moms, they never talk about where the hell was your black dad at? Since black people are so great and they're such victims and, oh, the racism, anti-black, where the hell was your black dad at? Why isn't he in the equation? Why is it you're only attacking your white mom, right? because it's easy to do and it's cowardice. That's what it is. A lot of these biracials will fail to admit that they're cowards. It's easy because it's like it's trendy to go on TikTok and talk shit about white people and your white mom. And it's very cringe worthy. I'm telling you, I have a lot of people out here, a lot of mulattoes who have pride, and they're not going to play that game. I already see a bunch of them on TikTok. These younger folks too. I mean, some of the circles that I'm navigating, they're not out here like throwing their parents under the bus. They're just like, look, I'm mulatto, I'm mixed, I'm embracing this to the fullest. They're not playing that whole split personality game that Blackistan wants you to play, where you got to pick them and choose them and prove to them you're fuck all that. It fails miserably for a lot of mulattoes. Okay, they really desire to have a struggle, poverty upbringing. Yeah, but you notice that one woman, like she looked very clean and healthy, like her skin was good, and the background looked like she was attending college or something. But like she was upset. She had mommy issues because she wanted to grow up in the hood to fit in with the blacks. Like, yeah, she wanted to struggle in the hood. I don't get that shit. Because I see some of these biracials out here, they're like hating on my ass or something. Like, you grew up in the suburbs. I'm like, cool, you can continue to hate me, bitch. I got my passport. I got my money. I'm straight. I'm not riding around town on a rusty ass bicycle, trying to act like I got some street cred, like I'm from the hood. I was raised like there's no honor in that. It hasn't done nothing for you. I don't understand how that's a flex to be raised from the hood. If you're trying to sell your little shitty hip hop records, I get it. But if you're just a normal dude out here working, you know, like you're being from the hood, that's not a fucking flex to me, bro. Only to the savages, they feel like that's, oh, you a real one. But to someone like me or someone who's decent or civilized out here, that's not impressive to me. You know what's impressive to me? Good people, regardless of their race, who work hard and who are confident in themselves, and they like who they are. They're hard workers. They like who they are, regardless of their culture. If they're Igbo or Yoruba from Nigeria, if they're German, Anglo-Saxon, if they're Japanese, it doesn't matter to me. I embrace all these other cultures. Like I said, I'm definitely a world traveler per se at this point. So I appreciate good people who work hard, who have dignity, integrity, and who ultimately they like themselves. That's a very attractive trait. Let's see what we got. My mom wasn't allowed ghetto fighting woman just because she's black. Yeah, but wasn't that very distasteful how she's like, my white mom didn't fight or do nothing. If I had a black mom, she would have fought. It's like, really? You want to put that out there? You're kind of throwing a stereotype that's not that pleasant. And yeah. Let's see what we got here. You put here, I wish they'd be more special because the reality is some of their mothers are drug addicts. You meant to say specific. I wish it'd be more specific. Yeah. Yeah, some of their moms are probably drug addicts on meth or beer, alcohol, or something like that. So when I was a kid, I mean, I remember seeing my mom struggling to when my parents separated, and my mom was getting her master's degree. So I had major respect for my mom and honored my mom because I was like, man, I grew up seeing her struggle to do the parenting thing. And of course, my father had visitation, so I'd see my father on the weekends and stuff like that. But every day, seeing my mom, doing her homework late at night, going through school to college to get her degree, like I'm still so very proud of my mom because of that. And it basically, I told her that made her cry when I was so proud I got my bachelor's degree. And of course, the first person I told was my mom. I went and I visited my mom and I was telling her how proud I am to get my degree. And I told her, I was like, look, I just remember as a kid, like a little kid, seeing you struggle, doing your homework, getting it done, getting your degree was just as motivation for me and just made my mom cry. Right. But I was very proud growing up, very proud of my mom. That's such an accomplishment that your children are literally inspired by you, by seeing your actions. And here I am today. My sister is a double major college degree. My brother wasn't university degree, but I mean, homeowner, property owner, makes six figures. So my white mom raised successful children. She did her job. So like as an adult, how can I get up here and throw my own parents under the bus for some internet clout? It's pretty despicable, guys. Let's continue on with the comments. We got, oh my, this girl is just screaming, Pookie and Ray Gray's baby mama number 1650. Yeah, with the attitude and the tattoos. I mean, the attitude is a dead giveaway. The ratchetness, always trying to, fight and argue with people on the internet. It's like only a Pookie would deal with that caliber of female. Okay, a decent civilized guy, once they see that attitude, they're like, cut her off, block her, move on. Okay, only a Pookie would entertain that type of attitude. Light-skinned people barely get claimed in the community. Only the women who the men often want. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all these jokes about you're acting light-skinned or something, that's a light-skinned thing to say, or you're acting light-skinned. Yeah, that's, they want the women, they want the sexual access. And, oftentimes a lot of them, yeah, they'll get it. But then a lot of these women, you look at the numbers, they're baby mamas. And it's like, okay, have fun. Those are your results. You're so accepted into the community that you went through the ritual. You went through Blackistan's ritual, which is to make you basically a baby mama, where you literally tarnish your sexual marketplace value to where other men are looking at it like, okay, I'm never gonna marry you. Like, you have that man's kids. Okay, yeah. I've actually never had a black woman want to fight me. My sister did. The difference was I wasn't trying to talk to their men. People need to go to therapy, not TikTok. Exactly, right? What's up with LGBT, even pro-LGBT straight people? All the whining and complaining nonstop. How can you be a straight person but be pro-LGBT? I'm trying to figure out how that makes sense. How can a straight person be pro-LGBT? I don't know. Why does everyone on TikTok say, no, but why? Yeah. No, but yeah. Where did they learn how to speak that? I don't know. Some TikTok lingo. Feels like the LGBT community just sound like the emo kids from the early 2000s. Minus the MySpace and replace it with TikTok. I remember when MySpace was popping. Remember the 90s? Every girl in middle school was bi. It never went past that. I don't remember that. And in the 90s, I was in elementary school. But Val, I think you're a couple years older than me. But yeah, that was a while ago, huh? The 90s. You think about it, that's like 30 years ago now. Us millennials are getting a little older now. It's not a phase, Mom. It's who I really am. 25% of Generation Z identify as LGBT. Yeah, some of these stats are weird. I mean, look at even on TikTok, you can see it. Yeah, it's bizarre. I don't get it. Then again, women in this age group have a term for men called baby girl. Now they prefer effeminate men. Yeah, I don't know. I think we have out here a lot of women who prefer women, which is, that's their inclination. But they try to pretend like they're like straight or that they're like, normal, I guess I can say. I'm going to get flack for that. But it's like you have a lot of women who are competing against men for women, right? There's a content creator who's really upset and jealous that I even have you ladies in the chat right now. So like because she's competing, she wants all the women to be on her channel so she can pull this fake ass fabricated gender war like the divestors have done in Blackistan. She wants to do that shit with biracial people. She wants the biracial men to be on one channel, and then she wants all the biracial women to be on her channel. But the sad part about it all is when you look at her channel, most of her supporters are black men. She doesn't even have biracial women support like that. Typically, the biracial women who supports her are other baby mamas just like her. So it's like she doesn't have any biracial men support. I mean, she only has like a couple guys left, or like one guy that I basically blocked him, told him get out of here. You know, you don't make the cut. And it's pretty sad. Yeah, they're competing with other men for women, but they try to pretend like that's not what it is. It's like everyone that has some basic knowledge can kind of see. You said, Val, I have found Asian men attractive, specifically Filipino men, but BTS is way too feminine for me. K-pop guys, that's the BTS behind the scenes. Yeah, I think it's a K-pop band, right? Yeah. I don't listen to any of that K-pop stuff. Any of that, I don't listen to none of that. I'm not the market for that stuff, guys. So I don't really know too much. Ironically, one of my ex was a Filipina. She didn't beat me. No. You said, but she was super tall. My sister can't pick well. Yeah, we can find a lot of men and women don't pick well, right? A lot of men and women don't pick well. So when you look at these like different spaces, like the female space, they'll have their arguments for this specific gender. Then you have the men's spaces, they'll have this argument for the other gender, talking about a lot of women don't pick well. But we find it with both genders. We find it with both sexes, where a lot of men and women don't pick well. So I'm, doing everything I can to make it neutral as far as the gender component is exists. But obviously I'm a dude, but this is not a dating channel. It's not a dating channel. This is a channel to help develop cohesion about mulattoes and to let the world know our plight, our presence, our visibility here. That's this idea that we're just going to be like a quote unquote raceless group, or we're a tribeless group, is just non-existent moving forward. There's too many of us here now where we realize this is what we have to do. We have to develop cohesion, establish something, and make it sustainable or self-sustainable. Look at how privileged she is. Yeah. They've already made their judgment. They don't trust biracials with white moms, according to them. So why do they even try? That's the thing, though. And I'm a very kind of stern, assertive guy. And I'm out here sitting here like, yeah, like they've already made their judgments on you. They told you they don't trust you because you're a half breed, right? And now you got that biracial idiot with the white mom who literally is trying to call the rest of us half breed. See, that's self-hate crap where they want so badly to fit in, right? Where they're going to throw the rest of us under the bus. And she's not the only one. There's a guy out here too on YouTube who's pushing the same crap. He wants to serve black people's interest, and he wants to literally, he said, to destroy mulattoes, literally his words. And so it's not looking good for some of these characters, let me tell you. California All-Stars. Is it hip hop? I think your logo says hip hop. The people who claim to have so much trauma on TikTok actually appear to have an easy upbringing. Exactly. Yeah, they have an easy upbringing. That's what I'm saying. Like the woman looked like she was in a good neighborhood. You could hear the birds chirping in the background, quiet area, probably a college campus. Like, bro, you're on college. You're in a college campus. The brokies and like they're not there at those institutions. Some of them trickle through, but they're not the majority population. So, like, why are you complaining when you're made it to college, right? Now you're an adult. Now it's up to you. This is just pure culture Marxism at its finest. Yeah. We say, here we got people's attention spans are getting worse every year. Yeah, it depends on the content, right? Even for me, I don't feel like I'm the most I'm not at all the most entertaining, but I can still get several of you people to tune in and listen to me, which is cool. Appreciate that. This is community service for everyone, letting everyone else know they have a voice here. And like I said, the whole video that I covered was the main first video was because of a lady who emailed me, and I have my email information, guys. I think, do I have right now? I have got my IG right there. You can hit me up on IG. or you can email me, mulattovanguard@gmail.com, and I'll check it out. You send me a link of some video you want me to cover, react to, and you might be the lucky winner. I might cover it. So it's a community service. It's to serve you guys, to give you guys a voice. A lot of people like how I articulate a lot of these arguments, and so I'm here to basically serve you. Mulatto puts here, Black identified mulattoes usually have conflict with their white ancestry. They do not feel whole yet, so they see it from Blacks' point of view. Yes, it's a journey, lots of healing. Yeah. But in their process of healing, they want to destroy everything in their path, like especially us. They look at us as being the enemy, mulattoes who are proud to be mulattoes, right? So it's very important to spot them, note who they are, document it, and keep your distance, right? And you have to inform others that this individual is an issue. Okay. So just being strategic. Yes, it's cringe, but it's mostly from an age group that oftentimes have chronic liars and attention seekers. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're just attention seekers, huh? It's like throw your own parents under the bus for attention. That is the new low of humanity. I don't think that's ever been a thing ever to do, right? This is like an all new low. I mean, how is that, like, as far as legacy is concerned, when you have a digital footprint, they're going to pull that back up, look at that video of you dissing your own mom. Your child's going to be like, why were you talking crap about grandma like that, or grandpa? Like, I don't know. It doesn't look good. Kid from Kid and Play came out and also said his grandparents were racist on some podcast. Yeah. And maybe he's probably true though, right? Because there's a generational thing there. Kid is kind of older, right? He's an older cat. I think he's probably like 50 years old right now. So we're not even talking about his parents. We're talking about his grandparents. They probably were racists. I'm not doubting that, because I'm not sure exactly the generational, category. But yeah, there could be truth to it. I'm not going to say that's not true. The Kid and Play guy. Yeah. Black people are racist towards biracial family members as well. If someone says that, though, it gets shut down. Yeah. Because remember, blacks can't be racist because they're proud victims, right? Everyone can be racist, but blacks. Fuck out of here. You guys got to start challenging their ass on that. We have too many receipts of these blacks being racist to biracials. So we have too many receipts, too much evidence. I have too many screenshots. I just got some screenshots today from some knucklehead on TikTok. It's like we have all these receipts. And other groups of people, other groups already are, like, even especially Asians. There's a channel, social media presence that's called Asian Dawn or Asian Dawn. Yeah. Their Asian run page, I think East Asian, they're documenting all this stuff, all the crimes and all the racial incidents. So this whole idea that the community can't be racist, if you're a biracial, if you're a mulatto, you're black and white, you already know damn well that some of the biggest racists out here are from the AA community to you. And what do they tell you? You just got to act right. Basically, be their bitch, right? They won't be racist to you if you just learn how to act right. It's funny. Isn't that what their white massa says to them, right? Get in line, boy. Just why don't you act right? Then I'll treat you better, boy. Like, that's what whites tell them, right? And so they want to turn around and treat you the same way their massa has treated them. Like, it's a very sick pathological cycle that has to be dismantled. And the solution is to distance yourself from them, identify as what you truly are, which is mulatto, find others like you similar. And to me, things are working out with me on my page, my social media, what I'm doing. I just excommunicate people that are problematic. If there's some mulatto who's pushing the pro whack shit, I just say kindly exit the stage left over there. Have a good day. You're detrimental to me, what I'm doing. If you think my channel is biased, I'm not balanced, or I'm evil, that's good. Go take your weak ass over there and stay over there. Like, that's my whole thing is, look, this is clearly not for you. There's a lot of people out here, mulattoes, who haven't figured it out yet. And they think they can just like hate the competition away. Like, this is just not the channel for you, I guess. I'm pretty respectful. I feel like I embrace a lot of people, but I do have a thin line for sure with fuckery. My question is, why didn't they use any MLS men in the videos? That's what I kind of suspected as well. Why were they using those women specifically? You know, as a black woman who wanted to use biracial women with white moms. I don't know. There is something to that though, for sure. Oh yeah, because blacks can't be racist and you benefit from white privilege for being half white. Yeah. Yep. Fulton in Arizona, white mom did a great video of showing how she does her two biracial daughters' hair every day. Black woman said it was disrespectful. Can't get up. Yeah. Yeah. I had the Princess Jasmine doll from Aladdin. I also had a blonde, white ones and dark black ones. Yeah, I think in your day too, Al, or excuse me, Val. Apologize. Your day, Val. They probably didn't really have that much representation, right? As far as the color contrast or the mixed race dolls. We have that stuff now, you know, because you can literally just, you know, custom make your own like toys and dolls now with the internet. There's services like that where you can just factory direct 3D printing. You can literally print your own dolls at your home. Where yeah, like but back then the technology wasn't that available, so you kind of had to just get the black one or the white one or like you said the Arabic one, Princess Aladdin. So let's see. You got the link has been dropped, so I'm gonna head out of here in a minute. Let's see what we got here. Tariq Nasheed is a race hustler. Dan Calloway and many have called him out. Some black women call him out on marrying a mulatto woman. Also, they said he's taking care of her and her white mom who lives in his house. I wouldn't be surprised, man. Oh, you cannot make it up. Yeah, he's grifting off black people's misery and black people's low self-esteem. Because remember, Tariq Nasheed was telling all these blacks that they were Moors like 10 years ago. Now he's telling all these blacks that they're really indigenous to the land. They're aboriginals and they're all buying it, eating that shit up, man. Because they, you know, they need a God, they need a Messiah, low self-esteem. They're the ones who don't have an identity because slavery stripped them from their identity. That's why they push that on biracials, right? Like you don't have an identity, it's all projection on their part, right? Hip hop, okay, if you want to claim that as being, you know, well, we have a culture, but hip hop, that's your culture, okay. Yeah, baby mamas, degeneracy, you know, all the violence, that's your culture, okay. Yeah, well, look at the results compared to everyone else, right? It waiteth on white supremacy. Speaking about pro-black con men, how does everyone feel about Dr. Umar defending Diddy? I haven't noticed that. I don't watch Umar like that unless he talks about biracials. Like I said, with the pro-blacks, I don't even care. I realize it. They're all just a grift. They know black people have a lot of low self-esteem. That's why you got blacks calling themselves mixed now, and you got blacks saying that they're Indians and all this other shit because they don't even like themselves. They want to be something else, and I get it. Like I said, slavery has done a number on them, but that was, you know, centuries ago. Get over it, grow up, move on like everyone else. And these pro-blacks, they can grift off them. They can grift off the insecurities and the angst of the community. So, but I don't even care. It's not my business. I don't talk about them unless they talk about biracials, like Tariq Sheed. Like I talked about earlier in the stream, he's married to a mulatto, but he makes a Hidden Colors DVD in his movie, his film, talking about how the Loncondos in West Africa, they were working with the Portuguese to enslave blacks, right? It wasn't the dark-skinned blacks who were selling other blacks to be slaves. It was the mulattoes, the Loncondos who did that. And then look at who Tariq Nasheed marries, a fucking mulatto. So yeah, we're calling out the grifters, the pro-whack grifters, whenever they got biracials in their mouth, like Kundrick Lamar and, you know, Dr. Umar. But the whole Diddy thing, look, other people are talking about it, you know. To me, it doesn't seem like it's an issue I should be talking about. Val, the billionaires prefer black women was the black wife effect. Oh, I heard about that. That's their new trend they got going on, the black wife effect. I saw something about that. I can tell you what the black wife effect actually is. My dad said that he was dressed the best when he was with my mom because she picked his clothes. Those black women dress them. That's all. Wow. That's your personal experience. Interesting. Interesting. White women need to sometimes give up their white woman privilege to other white people, and I've seen them go through a lot of hell for having a mixed kid. White women get hate from whites and blacks for that. Yeah, I haven't talked to my mom really about that, like the hate. I'm pretty sure it happened. She got some hate, but I've never publicly seen white people hate on her because, like, if I was there next to her or something as a kid, maybe it happens in some ways, kind of subtle, nuanced ways that didn't have too much effect because my mom is able to navigate society pretty effectively, like basically middle class Americans. There's been nothing that's ever held me or my mom, my family back unless it was our own lack of drive or ambition. That's it. Just a lot of Americans get complacent and lazy and contempt. Like, that's the only thing. And a lot of Americans have a bad diet, so that can be a challenge, right? But as far as the structure or the society, like with other groups of people, I've never seen my mom being held back in any endeavor, anything she was doing because she had mixed kids. So, but that's just my personal experience. Everyone else is different. I'm so close to getting my associate's degree. After I get my associate's degree, I want to get my certificate in medical coding. They don't know my background. They can't tell whose mom is black or white like they claim, since I don't act like them. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I only see this black mom, white mom shit on the internet. Off the internet, I've never seen any of this crap. But I suspected, I realized immediately when I saw this whole black mom, white mom, biracial shit. I was like, look, these are just blacks trying to basically get other biracials to fight each other, okay? To try to neutralize us. That's all, to position us as crash test dummies for fake acceptance in their shithole community. That's all it was. I known that from the start. I was like, really, are biracials really pushing this? I mean, some of them do. They're trying to basically get an audience, or they're virtue signaling, right? Yeah, to get an audience, basically, to get attention. But most of this stuff is being pushed by Blackistan to neutralize us. People who are nothing but their childhood trauma are still mentally child. Yeah. Yeah, they got to kind of document it. You know, it could be therapeutic to tell their stories, but they got to grow up, right? And like put it in a book or something. I think there's more mature ways. The TikTok platform, I don't think it's personally, I don't think it's the best to do that because a lot of them end up looking foolish because then they got a guy like me who's going to kind of give a review, and I'm not going to be the nicest guy sometimes. Okay, I'm actually from a hood, and trust me, it was hell growing up and felt like I didn't belong. Being mixed and didn't conform to a stereotype was just more of a reason to try me. I'll take burps any day. Said the burbs. Oh, burbs. Yeah. Take the burbs any day. The suburbs versus, I don't know. No one tried me in the suburbs. You know, did I get in some fights? Yep. Yep. I got in some fights. Yeah. But like, the shit I see, like with some of these people where it's like they act like it's a badge of honor to grow up in a shithole neighborhood or something, being harassed by people. I'm good, man. I don't want that for me, my friends, my family, my children. I'm good. Yeah, Facebook. Being with a woman would feel very strange. I'm not bi, and I don't hate random men. Her channel is boring. Whose channel is that? The one who's all celebrity gossip, the celebrity gossip drama queen. And her real passion is trying to fight men, right? Her real passion is challenging men. It's not even celebrity gossip. She does better numbers with that shit. She can. A lot of people want to listen to that celebrity crap. The stupid people that don't have any real careers in life. They want to pay attention to what the celebrities are doing. But yeah, her real passion is like getting in the gutter and fighting other men. And it hasn't worked out for her at all. It really hasn't. It's very, very sad. 3D printing a doll. Yep. You can even contact a factory. They can produce that for you. They can do it for you, right? That's what I'm going to do, because there's an MMA fighter that I follow. He has 2 sons. Actually, he's a white guy. He has 2 Hapa sons, right? Biracial sons. But regardless of that, he was a fighter in a cage, and he said that his own kids, they have doll or action figures of him. And I thought, you know what? That's the coolest shit ever. Like, his own kids have dolls that resemble their own dad. Like, you can do that in today's world. Your kids don't have to play with like a Spider-Man action figure. They could if they want, or Superman, or like a wrestling character like Hulk Hogan or something. I think when I was a kid, I had like a Hulk Hogan like action figure. But literally today, you can create an action figure of your own image, and your kids, it's a good way to instill kind of pride at that early age. If your own boys, your own kids are, playing with dolls that resemble you, and then they can make that doll be the good guy, the hero of the story, right? To fight the bad guys. Like, I love that idea. That's what I want to do when if I have sons, or a son, is to create an action figure. That's pretty cool, man. You can do that. It's not going to be like expensive either, right? With all the technology out here, the competition. It's just a good kind of psychological exercise to foster kind of a healthy familial structure and self-esteem with your family and children. Val, do you remember American Girl doll? I had Molly. I didn't want one of those human baby dolls, stroller. Yeah. You put here, my mom is white, and yeah, white people would ridicule her for having a mixed kid and treated her differently everywhere. Interesting, because I didn't see that, but like I said, maybe there's some nuances. Maybe I was too young to witness that. Your California All-Stars, I don't know if you grew up in California, what part of California, SoCal, the Central Valley, or Northern California, or what generation, because those are factors we should definitely take into account. Because I mean, maybe, like I said, I was young in the 90s, but I didn't really see anything too negative or negative at all. But yeah, cool, guys. I think you just put a comment here. Riverside, born in 1982. Yeah, Riverside is still. I'm from Orange County, so it's a big difference. You got LA, Orange County, Riverside, all those different areas. There is massive culture difference in attitudes with the people in those environments. So I can see why that probably could have been an issue for sure in that environment. There's a lot more biracials out there in Riverside today, right, than there was back then in the 80s or even 90s. So for sure. And we're finding each other. We're searching social media. We're asking questions. We're trying to seek a community, a tribe, and we're already here. Just so, yeah, make sure you guys hit the like button, share the content, get the content out there, and let's keep this conversation going. I'm going to head out, guys. I got a video I'm going to drop, so be on the lookout. Put your notification, hit that notification bell, because I'm going to a video I'm going to drop tomorrow. It's going to be an early in the morning release it. So yeah, guys, I look forward to hearing again from you guys. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.